Let's move on to our next story. So this one is all about Dorit Kemsley, whose privilege is showing, and she is doubling down on her racism. She is doubling down on her privilege, and it's really sick. But I have a surprise for you guys. I do. I have a video surprise for you guys regarding Miss Dorit Kemsley and how she has treated Garcelle. So before we dive in, go ahead and like, subscribe, and share. So this is from Reality Blurb, and I have the receipts. I have screenshots of Dorit's post, and then I also have a video of, I'll tell you the surprise now. I have a video of Dorit's original, well, one of Dorit's original faces and her original voice. So Dorit wants to be in her bubble. Well, I'm going to burst your bubble, Dorit, and I'm going to show a resurfaced video of Dorit's original voice. We'll get there, you guys. We'll get there. So here we go. Fans are slamming Dorit Kemsley over a controversial post about living in her bubble, which came after Garcelle Blvd called her out her bubble of privilege on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. In the latest episode, Dorit spotlighted Sutton Stracke's makeout session with her driver, but when Garcelle accused Dorit of trying to embarrass Sutton, Dorit claimed Garcelle was attacking her. During a confessional, Garcelle suggested that Dorit doesn't live in a woke world, but rather in a bubble. Dorit said, "Happily living in my bubble," declared Dorit in a caption of a December 20th Instagram post alongside a photo of her in a shirt that read 90s supermodel. Okay, you know I come with the receipts. So let's look at it. So this is Dorit's post where she said happily living in her bubble. So this chick is non-apologetic and is doubling down on being in her bubble of privilege. Now, this is what some of people on Reddit had to say. They said, you can live in your bubble all you want, but using language like attack because a Black woman says something to you you don't like is very damaging. And I definitely feel like you in your privilege bubble know this. You were definitely trying to embarrass and use that makeout session against Sutton Stracke. Added another. A third viewer asked Dorit to educate herself on white privilege, racism, and microaggressions, and they said that she's embarrassing herself. A fourth fan, and this is my favorite clapback, pointed out how Dorit is wearing a 90s supermodel shirt while Garcelle actually was a 90s supermodel. Take that, chick. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, there's a little bit more I want to show you guys. Okay, one sec. So the caption, that's right. This caption shows your naivete, and anyone who doesn't understand where Garcelle is coming from is uneducated as well. Boom. Now, this was also from Reddit, where it says the word attack absolutely has a different meaning to a Black woman than it does to a white woman. Dorit has thrown microaggressions toward Garcelle since she started the show. I was very surprised at how much Erica knew about this, and I'm so glad she said that for Garcelle. The world has been weaponized against Black people, and I think this lesson was really good, not only for Dorit, but for the fandom, which I agree 100%. It has been debated whether it was in fact microaggressions, and tonight it made it clear. Let's all take a lesson from this and use our words more carefully. 100%. And the thing is, Dorit has a pattern of being racially aggressive and being very microaggressions and dismissive and condescending to Garcelle, particularly Garcelle. I also think, and I truly believe this, I think that behind the scenes, Dorit is still listening to Lisa Rinna. I know she's not on the show, but I think she's still influencing the girls. I still think she's still influencing Erica, but I think Erica is breaking away from it. You know, I do think that Erica is breaking away from Rinna because she wants a relationship with Sutton and she wants a relationship with Garcelle, but you can still clearly see that Dorit is still very much drinking whatever Rinna's Kool-Aid was, because I think that when Garcelle came on the scene, obviously Rinna had a problem with her, and Rinna was the boss. Rinna was the one who was running the girls. And I think they still have that. And that's why Dorit's always like, if you don't like me, Garcelle, it wasn't that Garcelle didn't like you. It was that you always came after her and she didn't let you. Those are two different things. Okay? Two different things. Anyway, Dorit. Now, let's talk more about this pattern of behavior and microaggression that Dorit has had against Garcelle. So I found this article back from 2021. And this is from Reality Blurb. It says, The Real's Adrienne Bailon calls out Dorit Kemsley for screaming at Garcelle Blvd at the reunion, tells her to pipe down, and says she's pissed. So shout out to Adrienne Bailon, 100%. She says, after her co-host on The Real, Garcelle Blvd shared a clip of the 4-part special on her Instagram page, which featured an encounter between her and Dorit Kemsley. Adrienne let her thoughts be known in a couple of comments to the post. In Garcelle's clip, she seems calmly telling Dorit, you don't know that, before Dorit begins screaming at her. Let me finish, Garcelle, she yells. In a response, Adrienne told her co-host that Dorito, oh, I in the morning. I'm choosing violence today after watching this damn clip. I'm pissed, Adrienne wrote in her first message to Garcelle. Then, in a second post, Adrienne suggested she could never remain as calm as Garcelle and would likely end up in jail if she was faced with that behavior that Garcelle has been forced to deal with. This show will end up sending me to a bad girls club or jail. Y'all are better than me, she wrote. In addition to facing off at the reunion, Garcelle and Dorit were also at odds during filming on season 11, with Dorit frequently accusing Garcelle of taking jabs at her, and Garcelle suggesting she's been left out of the group by Dorit and the other women on the show. That's why I'm saying I think it all stems from Lisa Rinna pulling the strings. However, I am not absolving Dorit because I think Dorit herself has issues with Black people. That is my opinion. I do think she thinks she's better than Black people, and I do think she has problems with Garcelle because Garcelle is Black. And I think she doesn't like it when Garcelle has the audacity to simply speak to her woman to woman because she thinks that Garcelle is beneath her. That's my opinion. Garcelle was making these digs and jabs in the group. It really was never it really was never when it was just her and I, and this was not something anymore that I could just kind of brush off. It's not okay. Dorit said on a September episode of The Housewives after show, Garcelle's the type of person where she'll poke and she'll dig. That's called The Show. Are you kidding me, Dorit? Shut up. Meanwhile, in her own segment, Garcelle admitted to feeling left out by the women, many of whom are a part of the faux Fox 5 friend group. I think the whole Fox Force 5, my feelings are my feelings, whether they believe them or not, they're still my feelings, she stated. And Garcelle was 100% correct. She was strategically being left out the group by them because they wanted to ice her out, because they did not like her. They were intimidated by her, and they did not want her to succeed. She was 100% correct. She was being iced out. They target people that they target, and they got pissed when it didn't work. Okay? Garcelle has also accused Dorit of talking too much, and as have many members of the cast, but according to the reunion sneak peek, it is Dorit who feels she wasn't being heard. So she has a pattern of this dismissive behavior, of this microaggression behavior, all of that. Now, this was on someone on Reddit says, was anyone else bothered by how Dorit mocked Garcelle's voice? So this was back from season 11. She said that whole scene seemed weird and rehearsed, but when she mocked Garcelle's tone of voice, it felt icky. It's obvious that she was just trying to make herself relevant because she knows she can't match Garcelle's fabulousness. But this part in particular felt wrong. And then they went on to edit and say, after reading through these comments, I realized it rubs me the wrong way because it felt racist, especially with the wide eyes and the head bobbing. Garcelle handled herself beautifully in that situation. Dorit seems truly oblivious about it, which is extra frustrating, especially with the comment from a few weeks ago, my mom has a Black friend. So not only did Dorit do a sort of, ghetto girl black scent mocking Garcelle's voice, she also, remember, she's like, well, no, I'm not racist. My mom has a black friend and we have black help. So because your mom is friends with somebody's black and you hire, minorities and black people to clean your house, that means you're not racist? Girl, bye. Please shut up and have self-receipts. And like I said before, the chick is doubling down. So we already saw the post where she's talking about being in her bubble. And then she had the audacity to post another one. She just posted this one. She goes, the only bubble I live in is a love bubble. Sending much love to everyone for a happy holiday and joyous holiday season. Holiday throwback. Chick, the reason why you have to post a holiday throwback is because your husband isn't living with you. Why don't you post a recent photo? Oh, that's right, because PK is living his best life at the Beverly Hills Hotel and left you and your kids in your rented home that you have during your alleged robbery. Because you're still in that rented house, aren't you? And where is PK? Where is PK? PK is probably in London, dipping it and doing it. Or he's at one of the hotels he's living in. That's why you had to post a throwback picture, because you don't know where your husband is. Girl, bye. Girl, bye. And the fact that she's doubling down on it is disgusting and shows you that she knows exactly what she's saying and she knows the exact implications of what she's saying and she's owning it, which is sick and crazy to me. Sick and crazy. She's showing us exactly who she is. Oh, wait, actually, she's not showing us exactly who she is. I'm going to show you guys exactly who she is. I found a video, and it is so cringy, so I apologize in advance. It is cringy as hell. But I found a video from 10 years ago that shows you Dorit. Now, this is Dorit with her real voice. This is, and I'm not body shaming. Talking about somebody's surgery is not body shaming. It's just stating facts. Her face in this video is not her, quote, natural face. She's had some surgery, but it's not her current face. And I'm not shaming her at all. I'm not shaming her. I'm just saying this is what's going on. Okay? So let's watch and let me know, do you recognize this Dorit, her voice, face? And I'm not shaming her. If you want to do a nip and tuck, knock yourself out. But just watch, okay? Here we go.
That was really the initial inspiration, and then I found myself sort of creating and working with the colors that always go, which are always black, and I think white is such a fun way to express yourself in the summer as well, so I incorporated that, and then of course the vibrant colors. We do bandeaus and a lot of construction, and we've introduced Brazilian cuts this season. There was a lot of requests for that, and then the high-waisted, so there's really a lot to choose from. We do various different silhouettes, as you can see. I always try and introduce some new style, just a showpiece per se, that stores really can put in their windows or that draw a lot of attention. want them to regard as quality, great fit, always ahead or with the fashion, trendsetter, if you will, and know that I care as much about them as they will about the suits.
So you're telling me that's the same woman? You're telling me that's the same woman. All I have to say is this. Money well spent. Shout out to Wendy Williams. Money well spent. Dorit looks, however you want to slice it, she looks great comparatively, in my personal opinion. I'm not going to shame any woman or anything like that. But yeah. That was Dorit. Now, did anybody hear any type of accent? Did anybody hear any type of, I don't know, from European descent or European jet setter or anything like that? She sounded like Dorit from Connecticut, because that's who she is. She was born and raised in Connecticut. She sounded like Dorit from Connecticut. She looked like it too. Anyway, I just think it's really funny that she wants to, mock Garcelle's voice and be rude to her when she doesn't even use her own voice. Girl, bye. Girl, bye. I want to know what you guys think. Do you think that Dorit has, gone overboard with the way she's treated Garcelle? You guys know how I feel. I do. I feel like she has been very consistently disrespectful, consistent with her microaggressions and disrespect, and she's taking no accountability, and instead she's doubling down on it by posting multiple social media posts about living in her bubble. Girl, bye. So I want to know what you guys think. So be sure to like, subscribe, and share. So with that, let's move on to our next story. So this is all about Erica Jane being outed for